The atmosphere in Mexico City changed dramatically only 5 minutes ago when Jungkook and the BTS members were seen leaving at full speed after 3 unforgettable nights that transformed the city into the center of global attention. Why did their departure suddenly become one of the most discussed moments among fans and international media? And why are millions of ARMY around the world now closely watching every movement connected to the group after the emotional conclusion of the Mexico concerts? 3 days have passed since BTS completed one of the most intense concert runs of the ARIRANG World Tour, yet the emotional shock left behind inside the stadium still feels impossible to erase. The enormous venue that had been filled with thunderous screams, synchronized light sticks, and non-stop chants from tens of thousands of fans is now standing in silence. The stage that only hours earlier radiated blinding lights and explosive energy has returned to darkness, but the emotional aftermath appears far from over. Fans who attended the concerts continue flooding social media with emotional reactions, claiming that what happened in Mexico City felt far larger than a normal concert event. Many described it as a historical moment that carried unusual emotional weight from beginning to end. For 3 consecutive nights, BTS dominated headlines across Latin America. Hotels surrounding the stadium became crowded with international visitors. Airports were overwhelmed with arriving fans carrying purple banners and concert merchandise. Streets near the venue turned into gathering points, where fans from different countries sang BTS songs together long before the concert gates opened. Local businesses reportedly experienced a massive increase in activity as the city adapted to the extraordinary influx of visitors arriving for the performances. But despite the scale of the event, what truly shocked fans was not only the concerts themselves. It was the emotional intensity that appeared to surround the members during the final night. Throughout the last performance, many fans noticed subtle details that immediately triggered speculation online. Several members appeared visibly emotional while addressing the audience. Jungkook, whose performances throughout the tour have consistently dominated online discussion, drew massive attention after cameras captured his unusually serious expression near the closing segment of the concert. While fans initially believed it was simply exhaustion after 3 physically demanding nights, conversations escalated rapidly when airport footage began circulating only hours later. The video shared by staff members immediately exploded across social media platforms. Unlike the chaotic airport scenes that often accompany major celebrity departures, this moment felt strangely calm and controlled. There were no crowds pushing against barricades. There were no overwhelming flashes from aggressive photographers. Instead, the atmosphere carried a quiet emotional tension that many fans described as unexpectedly heartbreaking. Near the runway area, the giant colorful Mexico sign stood illuminated beneath the night sky, creating an image that instantly spread across fan communities worldwide. Many interpreted the image as more than a farewell backdrop. It looked symbolic, almost cinematic, as if the city itself was acknowledging the end of an unforgettable chapter. What shocked viewers most was the timing. Reports surrounding the departure suggested that Jungkook and the members moved quickly through the airport area under extremely tight coordination. Within minutes, fans online began using the phrase "took off at full speed" to describe the suddenness of the departure. The expression immediately became viral because it reflected the emotional contrast surrounding the moment. Just hours earlier, BTS had stood before tens of thousands of cheering fans under overwhelming lights and music. Then suddenly, the group disappeared quietly into the night, boarding the aircraft with an atmosphere that felt almost surreal. The emotional reaction from fans intensified because the Mexico City concerts had already been viewed as one of the strongest stops of the entire world tour. Every night carried a different atmosphere. The audience reactions were deafening from the opening songs until the final goodbye. Purple light sticks illuminated the stadium so intensely that aerial footage resembled a glowing ocean stretching endlessly into the darkness. Fans cried openly during emotional ballads, while explosive performances triggered waves of synchronized chanting powerful enough to shake the venue itself. The concerts were not simply musical performances. They became emotionally charged experiences that many attendees claimed they would remember for the rest of their lives. Jungkook once again became one of the central figures of the entire event. His stage presence dominated discussions both inside and outside the stadium. Every time his face appeared on the giant screen, the audience reaction reached extraordinary levels. His vocals remained stable despite the physically exhausting choreography, and his emotional interaction with the audience appeared noticeably deeper throughout the Mexico performances. Many fans described his energy as unusually intense, as though he fully understood the significance of the moment unfolding before him. Observers also noticed how closely connected the members appeared during the final concert night. RM maintained strong communication with the audience throughout the event, often pausing to absorb the crowd's reactions before continuing his speeches. Jimin's emotional expressions repeatedly appeared on stadium screens, causing waves of emotional reactions among fans. V maintained his calm yet magnetic stage presence while interacting naturally with the audience between performances. Jin balanced humor and emotional sincerity during his moments on stage, while Suga and J-Hope brought explosive energy that kept the stadium atmosphere constantly elevated. But despite the enormous scale of the production, fans repeatedly emphasized one thing after the concerts ended: the emotional connection between BTS and ARMY felt more personal than ever. That emotional connection may explain why the airport departure generated such massive global attention within minutes. Fans were not simply reacting to travel footage. They were reacting to the emotional ending of a chapter that had consumed the attention of millions over the past week. Online communities immediately began analyzing every frame of the departure video. Some focused on Jungkook's expression while boarding. Others discussed the calmness of the airport environment, calling it unusually peaceful compared to previous BTS departures. Several fans even pointed out how exhausted yet relieved the members appeared after completing 3 consecutive nights of high-pressure performances. The Mexico concerts also reinforced BTS's enormous influence far beyond music itself. The group's arrival reportedly affected tourism activity throughout multiple parts of the city. Restaurants near the venue experienced overwhelming demand. Hotels became fully booked days before the concerts began. Public transportation areas surrounding the stadium remained crowded with fans carrying BTS merchandise late into the night. Local media coverage expanded continuously as public attention surrounding the concerts intensified each day. Analysts observing the event described BTS not simply as entertainers, but as a cultural force capable of transforming the atmosphere of an entire city within days. As footage of the airport departure spread internationally, another development immediately fueled even greater excitement. Attention shifted toward the next destinations of the ARIRANG World Tour, especially the upcoming Asian schedules that fans have been waiting for with enormous anticipation.